very pleasant good evening and welcome to the Ken Rampersaud Show here on Island Zone Radio. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. You know what? I'm lucky that this morning was kind of cold, but this afternoon it's better. How are you guys doing? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And how are you guys doing?
Doing great, doing great. It's a pleasure having you. Thank you for having us.
Right.
Right? And it's amazing feeling to coming back, being on the air. This is long overdue.
Really? Yes. It has been a long time because I know before COVID, I wanted you to come and share your story. And Malini, thank you very much for coming with your husband and to share your story. Good afternoon. How you look beautiful, by the way, and how are you?
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you for having us. I'm good.
You good?
Great.
Oh, that's good. Put this close to you so that people could get to hear you. And so, you know, I got to tell you, telling your story actually for people to hear, for me, it's kind of inspiring because, you know, from coming from a Guyanese perspective, a lot of Guyanese people, we have problems and we don't want to talk about it. And people don't know what to do. And I'm sure that at your time that you wanted information. Both of you wanted to know what's going on. How would I get help and whatever it is. And so we will try to share some of those stories here today. And I want to say that Umesh, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
So, my name is Omesh. I was part of a band. I started playing Dolak from the age of 3 years old at Mandir. And from playing Dolak, I started playing with Supertones band at the age about 11, 12 years old. And I progressed. I started playing We Traveled, Extensive, Extreme, like we traveled from Spain, Europe, Guyana,
Wow.
Trinidad, Jamaica. I see my brother Panda Deepak is on the live.
Good.
He took me and him, we traveled extensively too, playing Dolak for him, going to Satsang, going to Mandir. It's a lovely feeling to be where I am today. And before I got the transplant, I don't think I would have been here.
Oh, wow. Well, thank God, God has his purpose for you.
Yep.
And Malini, I didn't realize that you were a singer until I look at I went to your page today and I saw that your picture was on one of the flyers. So you're a singer too?
It's so funny. I was not going to share it, but I did anyways.
Go ahead, share it.
Because that was a very special moment for me to be on stage again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not a professional singer.
Right.
But singing is my hobby. Music, on the whole, is my hobby.
Oh.
And you know, I'm from Trinidad.
You're Trinidadian.
I'm Trinidadian.
Oh, God, and you went to Guyanese.
I'm actually half Trini, half Guyanese.
Okay, good.
When I was born and grew up in Trinidad.
Right.
You know, the musical journey started there for me. In Trinidad, Indian classically.
Good,
and that's where I fell in love with music. And I just instantly took to it and kept going from there. When I met Omesh, when we got married, Omesh and his band had me perform with them, and that was one of the most outstanding moments of my life.
Beautiful,
Other
beautiful.
than getting married to Omesh.
That's good, and you fall in love with him. So it's a beautiful story. I like that. So yeah, welcome aboard. And so, you know, how old were you, Omesh, when you were diagnosed with renal failure?
I was about 32.
32 years old?
33 around there.
Okay. So, you know, one of the things is that I always want to do with our viewers, I want them to know exactly, you know, what we're talking about. And so today we'll be talking to Mr. Umesh, who had renal failure. He went and he was on dialysis. We'll find out more about dialysis. And also, he was blessed, as he said, to have a kidney. He had kidney transplant. So I want to tell you guys that the kidneys are two bean-shaped organs. Each has the size of a fist, of our fist, right? And it's located just at the rib cage, under the rib cage, and it's attached to the spine. Okay, so we have two kidneys on both sides, and as I said, they're actually, I could not believe that those little things could do so much damage. You know. Also, excuse me, I want to tell you that. Kidney failure actually affects over 75,000 people in the United States every year, and it affects around 2 million people worldwide. So we see definitely it's a problem, and we need to do some corrective action to see how we can best prevent this from happening, you know. And we will have our friend here, Umesh, share his story, but I want to set the groundwork for what we are about to talk about. And we want to know some of the things that the kidney really does. It removes a waste product from the body, removes drugs from the body, and it balances the body fluid. Also release hormones that regulates our blood pressure. It is very important. And we will talk more about that. And Umesh will tell you that during dialysis, how much times his blood pressure went up sky high, and he didn't know what to do, and he was confused, and doctor had to give him medication to bring his blood pressure down. It also produces an active form of vitamin D that promotes strong, healthy bones, and we know that, and sometimes doctors sometimes order these vitamin D tablets to help with the bone and all these things, and I'm not sure if you're taking that right now, but we will talk about that. So I want to ask you, my first question to you is, you know, what really caused all of this? Do you know what was the underlying problem to cause all of this?
Well, you said it before. High blood pressure.
Right.
And diabetes.
Diabetes.
I've been diabetic for over about 25 years.
Oh, wow, that's a long time.
Type 1, my last year.
Type 1?
I would not forget it. My last year of high school.
Oh, wow.
I just started my senior year.
Wow.
My mom was treating me for the flu.
Right.
They were giving me, I didn't want to eat, so they were giving me liquids to drink.
Right,
juice.
right.
That's all I wanted.
Really?
I went to the doctor. If I would have reached there maybe 5 minutes later to the doctor, I get a quarter in a coma.
Oh, really?
My sugar was over 1,000.
What? That's a lot. And did you, during all of this, did you know from before that you could get a stroke too?
That's going to come later on, and we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about, okay, good. So we want to tell you that what happens really when the kidney fails, right? It is the result of gradual loss from kidney function, and some people don't even know that they have kidney disease until the kidney fail. And we want to know why not, because people with early kidney disease may not have any symptoms, probably that happened to you. Symptoms usually show up later in the progression of the disease. And I got to tell you that sometimes you have kidney disease and you really don't know. You sit on it all the time until when your kidney really crash on you, right? And I'm not sure that will happen. And as we said before, what contribute to kidney damage is that you, for specifically, you had diabetes and you had hypertension.
Hypertension, blood pressure, yeah.
And you know, I got to tell you, when you have type 1 diabetes, it's not that easy to manage. And that happened to a lot of children, most children. But type 2 diabetes, you know, it happens later on in life because of your diet and exercise and all these kind of things. So, but I'm sorry that this happened to happen to you, but you still have to count your blessings at the end of the day, right? You do?
Yes. Every single day.
We will talk about that. And you said that for our audience sake, what were some of the things, signs and symptoms that you were going through before all of these things start happening, that your body your kidney start to fail?
One of the main things was I started gaining weight.
You gain weight?
It was water.
Water?
Water, yeah.
You accumulating water in your body?
Retaining a lot of water.
Retaining water?
Yep. So how we were traveling, I was traveling a lot during like a science span. And when I was traveling, I thought it was like from the jet lag from the flights and things like that. That's making my foot swell. So it was right after things. I came back right after Thanksgiving, and I went back to work for the week. And the first week of December, it didn't go down. So Malini told me, we got to go to the doctor, check this out.
Yes.
We went to the doctor to check it out. They sent me straight to Queen General.
Queen's General.
Right. So from Queen General, they diagnosed that my kidney was how much was it?
It was at 30% functional.
30%.
So your kidney was 30% functioning.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a little low number.
Yes.
So after they told you that, Umesh, what went through your mind?
I was confused.
Yes.
Basically confused because I'm trying to figure
What happened?
what
Yeah.
what happened in such, because I just did blood work about a couple of months
May,
before,
yeah.
and on the blood work nothing showed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So back to what you were saying.
Go ahead, yes,
You
speak
know,
up, yeah.
the symptoms doesn't show up. Long term, it can take a while to
Yeah,
show. That's
yes.
exactly what happened here. And just to add, Omish was not a blood pressure patient.
He was not.
That's the reason why the doctor rushed him to the hospital when
Right,
she
right,
checked
right.
his blood pressure, and his blood pressure was very high.
Right.
She's like, "That's not normal. You have to go right now."
Oh, wow.
And test after test after test. That night, I remember asking to speak to the doctor that took care of Umesh, and he told me exactly what it was. That don't panic, but this is what it seems like.
Right, right.
We have to run some more tests. His kidney is not quite functional as it should be.
Right.
And from there, that's where the journey started.
So, Malini, what were going through your mind when you heard all of this?
I was shocked. Like I said, Umesh was never a blood pressure patient, so I was
Right.
shocked. And his diet has been great, at least since we got married.
Oh.
His diet is
His daddy?
top notch. Because my
Oh.
dad was also a diabetic, so
Oh, really?
he also retained water. So I knew the signs right away. Once I
Right,
saw
right.
the signs, I knew what it was. And when I spoke to the doctor that night, I was just shocked, speechless. I was not trying to
Cope with it.
panic too much,
Right,
but
right, right.
figure out what's the next step. Where do
Right.
we go from here? What do we need to do now? What's the
Right.
next test? How long till I get another result? How long till we diagnose something and know something and, work towards a solution now? That's all that was going through my head.
And
And,
did the dialysis the same time, or you went home and
no, we went
no?
home. Once he was diagnosed, they put him on medication and all
they
that.
put you on medication,
Yeah.
and they send you home?
And they sent
Sent-
us
wow.
home to, monitor
Take down
him
his
and
blood
all.
pressure and so on.
Yeah, and kidney medications and
Right, right.
water pills and all of that to try to get this somewhat under control and see if that'll help before we move forward. And from there it started.
And I know it's very emotional to talk about these things. So I have to tell you guys, thank you so much for coming and talk to us about this. And with this, I know that we can able to help and empower more people that to seek help and so on. But I have to ask you something, Umesh. Did you, you said, did your father have diabetes?
Yeah.
It's run in the family.
It's from both sides. My mom
Both
and my
sides,
dad's side, yes.
both sides. And let me ask you another question. Were you exercising? Were you watching your diet and so on?
Yes, I was.
You was?
Yeah. I was never big. I was like how I am now. That's how I was.
Right.
When all this was going through, I was about 200 pounds.
Right, right. Wow.
And I never ever seen myself. But it was all retained water.
Right, right.
Retainance.
Yes. So, how long you went home after you went home? How long it took for your kidney to really went bad?
It was deteriorating.
Every day.
Yeah. I went before they did the trend. Before they did the trend, they called it point.
It's gone.
It's gone.
But
Shattered
yeah,
already.
Yeah.
Both.
Um,
Both.
And were you passing any urine or no?
Yes.
Little bit.
Very little.
Very little.
Very little. Because once you start the dialysis, they tell you that you can't. There's certain things you can't do.
We will talk about all of that. Yes. Yes. So, after your kidney failed you, and what was the conversation like with your doctor? And I'm not sure if you went with him, Malini, but I want to suspect you will be there with him.
He was with me every step of the way.
Beautiful.
Her and my daughter. And
and-
my family was.
We will talk about family support, how important it is to. So, help me understand that when they told you no, Mr. Umesh and Malini, that your husband now, Umesh, will have to go on and get dialysis. What was that conversation like? Were you at the hospital or the clinic?
Naturally, that's a little story to
You-
tell.
You- yeah.
That was a story to tell.
Go ahead, but talk up a little loud so that I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry. So at first, I did not want to do the dialysis.
You did not.
I did not want to do it because
Wow.
everybody, you listening what everybody's saying.
Right.
People were talking.
Uh-huh.
There's all
It's-
negative comments
it's
about
negative.
it, basically.
So I did not want to do it.
Right.
So there was a specifically, and I'm saying it out to the public.
Right.
It was about a year.
A year after you were
A year
diagnosed.
after I was diagnosed.
Mhm.
So
Really?
this-
You waste time?
So there was a year after I was diagnosed,
Oh wow.
and I would remember vividly. It was me and my daughter's birthday.
Right.
So every year for her birthday, we do singing
Mm-hmm.
because that's what we grew up in. And it was a Friday evening. She wanted to cancel. Everybody was here already.
Right.
I could have barely moved.
Oh wow.
Umesh couldn't even put his shirt on.
This Saturday, my mom's sister had a puja. We were supposed to go.
Right.
And I'm usually the one inside helping, singing, playing dolak, doing all that. I sat in the van throughout the whole thing.
Oh wow.
I came back home. No. I sat in the van for the whole thing.
Yeah.
We came back home. The Sunday morning, Melini's looking for me. I'm laid out on the bed. My tongue is sticking out,
Oh wow.
purple.
Wow.
That was the most tragic thing. We went. She called the ambulance. She called everybody. They took me to the hospital. So I had to make the decision. Is that it's either you do dialysis
Right.
or
You die. Let me help you. You die.
basically.
Yes.
And when I started the dialysis, it made me get back my energy.
Right.
Like it's everybody's body's different,
Absolutely.
right? But once I started the dialysis, it started to make me feel a lot better.
Right. Right.
I was going to work 3 days. I was working still my regular job 9 to 5,
Mhm.
Monday to Friday.
Right.
Sometimes I would go. I'll leave work early, do 3 hours, 4 hours dialysis. Sometimes we had the fistula. The
Right.
fistula's not working.
Right.
Blood.
Jesus, that's a headache.
It was a
It's
headache,
clogged,
but
and the
Right, right.
dialysis center would call me right away. You gotta come
Yeah.
to get him now, and we gotta make an appointment to rush him
Right.
to get this
It
cleared, like
was-
first thing in the morning, or
Oh,
if you
wow.
can go now. You know, those things. Yeah.
So this has really been a roller coaster for both of you, and I tell you, both of you are emotional here in the studio, and I will try to keep things together because sometimes I get emotional too. But Umesh, if you had to do this all, and I have this question coming up later on for you, if you have to relive this dialysis thing again, would you have done it earlier?
yes, definitely.
So you will encourage those who are watching that if this happened to you, you need to go and get treatment immediately. You need to follow your
Yes,
doctor's order. What they're
Follow
saying.
all your doctor's orders, whatever medication, whatever they're telling you to do,
Yeah.
you have to do.
Oh wow.
They know
Yeah.
best.
Right. Right.
They know best.
Also, like I said, when we are doing this show, despite we wanted to tell stories, it is one of my priority to make sure that you guys understand what's going on and how you could identify what's going on. So I want to tell you some of the signs and symptoms that you really need to look out for. And it doesn't necessarily mean that Umesh, or a next person would go through the same identical sign and symptoms. You have trouble sleeping. You cannot eat, poor appetite. You have weakness, generalized weakness. You are feeling tired. Lord Jesus, sometimes I get scared too because I am tired. your body start to itch. And I have heard a lot of people complain of body itching. Did you experience that?
Yes.
You did?
Yep. And I couldn't, and it was I couldn't be cold.
Right.
It had to be hot. Like
Hot.
the place had to be hot.
Oh, really?
He
I
was
couldn't-
anemic at that point.
Oh, really?
So,
Yep.
you know, when it's 70 degrees, he's feeling like it's 50 degrees.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So pay attention to these things. Also, that you said earlier, we have a lot of weight loss. You had gained weight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot.
You gain weight. And I want to tell you, the weight that you're gaining is water that's accumulating in your body, right?
Yep.
You understand that?
Yes.
Is that his kidney is not putting out the water, he's not peeing out the toxic that's in his body. So guess what? It's building in his body. And he's thinking, I'm gaining weight probably because of something. But the truth of the matter is, and we will talk about the water that's your body always accumulated, and you have to, how important it is to weigh yourself and all these things. Muscle cramp, especially in the leg. You were having that?
Yep. There was sometimes I'm trying to get up and I'm fall right back.
Oh, wow. Swelling in your feet and ankle, anemia. You just spoke about anemia, low blood count. So now we understand some of the signs and symptoms that you would experience. And, you know, I'm glad that we are having this conversation that, you know what, some people, they could get the knowledge of this first-hand knowledge of what's going on. And we have spoke about some 3 things that people go through. And one of them that you had was diabetes, right? You know, so at the moment you went and after you reluctantly went and had your dialysis, you had an emergency dialyze you? They dialyze you emergency?
So what they did, once I was in the hospital because
Right.
they put a official
cat-
on the
a
chest.
Catheter.
A
Yeah.
perma-
That
cat-
one is called a
Catheter.
catheter.
Yes.
Right, catheter.
They call it permacut. I used to work at the
Yes.
dialysis, you know, so go ahead.
Yeah, so they put the catheter.
Mm-hmm.
Then they started the dialysis at North at the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and then they started making arrangements where the closest dialysis
Dialysis
center,
Center.
and we
Right.
do it 3 times a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
That has to be tough.
4 to 5 hours per session.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That, you know, I know that patients used to normally get like 3-hour session. Yours was 4. They had to do a lot of work for you then.
Yes.
How did you, I know your daughter, I want to say special hello to your daughter. Thanks for coming with mommy and daddy. She's sitting quietly in the studio and behaving herself. How difficult was it for you to talk to your wife, your kids, your parents, and your family member about getting dialysis?
It was difficult because they were all on me to get it, especially Malini. But I kept on denying.
Denial
Yes.
is a
I
big
was-
thing.
I wasn't
Denial is a
denying.
very bad thing. Please listen to the doctors, guys.
Yes,
It was difficult.
it was
But-
difficult.
We did what we had to do to get it done,
Right.
and by the grace of God, I'm here, and I'm able to make awareness to everyone. about it.
We will talk about awareness when we come back. I have everything in segment when we're going to talk about them, so I'm not going to jump the gun. And we talk about your emotional status. Malini, I was concerned for you too, because here it is. You have your husband, all these things going on. Who's supporting you?
Oh, my family, especially his mom, Mamish's mom,
Oh, really?
was my backbone.
Oh. So you're
For
lucky you
us.
get a good mother-in-law.
Oh, I have the best mother-in-law. I would tell anybody that.
Mm-hmm.
She's the coolest, sweetest heart
she
you'll
alive now?
ever. Yes, she is.
Oh,
She's still alive. She's probably watching. Hi, Mom.
hi, Mom. Thank you so much for supporting your daughter-in-law in this difficult ordeal, and also to your son. People do need all of this, and it's tough. It's difficult. And how you are dealing with it? How did you, like me? I'm a crybaby. Anything happen, I'll cry. Umesh, how did you manage all of this stress? Because the truth of the matter is that that's a vital organ in your body,
Yes.
and there's a big job to keep your body functioning normally. And here it is, you have one of your vital organs to get rid of the toxins in your body that's failing you. What was going through your mind? Were you stressed out? And who were you? Because sometimes you don't want to stress your wife out and these kind of things. So how you were getting the help at that time?
She would tell you.
Huh?
I didn't have nobody. I had people to talk
Right.
to, but I would hold it in.
You
I would-
hold it in?
She would tell you that.
Oh.
Yeah, he wouldn't want to speak about it.
He didn't.
He wouldn't want to talk to
Oh, really?
anyone. He also couldn't talk much because
Right,
of
right.
the water retention, so breathing was very difficult.
Yes, yes.
So it's not always that he didn't want to talk to anybody, it's also that he couldn't talk. But I did the talking for
You did?
him. I took all the
Oh.
phone calls.
You were a
I-
beautiful wife. Beautiful. I'm
Thank
so
you.
proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. Thank you.
I don't know where I get the strength from. I have no idea where I got all the strength from to deal with this.
Right,
but
right.
I did, and I thank everyone who was there. I remember when Omesh was diagnosed, very first time in the hospital. Our friends were there. Panadeepak was there,
Oh.
and he called me on the phone, and he was like, "Bouch, we got this."
Oh. That's nice. It's good to have support.
And our friends, Nisha and Tandy was there. And after I spoke with the doctor, I broke in front of her. So she was there foot to foot with me, my mom, my brother, my sister, and together we all did it. And
Bear with us, guys. It's a tough interview for all of us. When you hear these stories, when you don't know, did you ever worried? Oh my God! And I'm going to ask both of you this question. Probably, you want me to go to a break and we do come back.
Yeah.
Let's. It's a difficult interview, and I always want to make sure that our guests in studio, that we are taking care of them, and so let's play a nice song for them to listen. And you're Hindu, right?
yes.
Let's play a nice bhajan.
आया आया बुलावा है आया ओ माँ शेरावाली आया आया बुलावा है आया ओ माँ शेरावाली हो गई है दया तेरी हम पर ओ माँ मेहरबानी आया आया बुलावा है आया ओ माँ शेरावाली आया आया बुलावा है आया ओ माँ शेरावाली जय जय अम्बे जय जगदम्बे कहते ही जाएंगे ऊंचे ऊंचे पहाड़ों पर हम चलते ही जाएंगे जय जय अम्बे जय जगदम्बे कहते ही जाएंगे ऊंचे ऊंचे पहाड़ों पर हम चलते ही जाएंगे थक भी अगर हम जाएं तो डरना है नहीं पहुंच की माँ के मंदिर रुकना हमें वहीं देगी बल भी हमें जोता वाली देगी बल भी हमें जोता वाली.
All right, we are back. I think we pull ourselves back together. It's a tough interview. Y'all know how I am, and it's difficult to know that life is not easy sometimes. But did you ever scared any time that you would not make it to see the next day? Were you scared at any time?
There was times when I don't know if I would have woke up and
Right.
Malini would tell you. There was times that like I felt like giving up, but my rock and my stone was there. My mom was there.
Yes.
They always knew what to say.
Wow.
And family members, cousins, all my people I grew up with, my friends, they were always there, calling me, texting me.
Mhm.
Do you need anything? What can I do? Do you want to go out? They just go out a little bit just to get away.
Right, right.
Or do something.
Yes.
Go anywhere. But there was times I just felt like I just wanted to be alone. In the room.
Yeah.
Alone.
I'm gonna go there. And Malini, were you at any given time that like, oh my God, I'm scared that I'm gonna lose Omesh?
Yes, there was. That morning that he spoke about when he woke up.
Right.
I know what had to be done, but I wasn't so sure that he was going to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was very, very, very strong-minded about, no, I'm not doing it. And that moment in the hospital when the doctor spoke to me,
Yeah.
that Sunday, she was around my age,
Wow.
and we had a personal conversation.
Yes.
So she knew that I had a daughter.
Oh.
We have a daughter together. And she said, you know what's going on, right?
Oh.
She hugged me and she said, you know what's going on, right? I said, yes. She's like, well, you have to get him to say yes.
Yes.
You have to. I said, I'm trying my best. Mom is here. She's like, only you can do it.
Right.
You have to do it. You could
Right.
do it.
Yes.
And I spoke with him again. And Omesh refused to put me as proxy because he knew what was going to happen.
I like that. I like that.
And that moment
Right.
was when I felt like I was going to lose him
Oh.
because he didn't put me as the proxy.
He
and
didn't? Who he
no.
put?
No one.
Really?
He said, no, I'm not doing this and nobody's going to make me do it.
Oh, really?
So the night passed and we spoke and we spoke and we spoke and Kaya was on video with him and I called all his cousins and, you know, his doctor is his cousin actually.
Oh, really?
So
oh, nice.
she also helped me. And I remember his cousin Shri came to see him at the hospital
Wow.
the next day.
Yes.
And he called me. All his friends called me.
Oh.
All his friends would call me. And when I told them what was going on, they're like, don't worry, I got it.
Wow.
Cousin Shri has a daughter also.
Mm-hmm.
And he had this man-to-man conversation with
Right,
Omesh.
right.
And my phone rang from the doctor. She's like, guess what? I said, please tell me we're doing it. She's like, yeah. He said yes.
Oh, wow.
I said, oh, thank God. She's like, do I have to sign anything?
Right.
She's like, actually, you do. I said, I'm coming right now. I'm leaving work. I'm coming right now. She's like, you don't have to come right now. We still have to prep him to do it.
Right.
But I need you to sign off and give me permission to do this. Even though
Right,
you're not
right.
proxy, you still have to sign as his wife.
Mhm.
And other documentation. I left work. My boss was the sweetest heart
Oh.
at that time. He said, Mandy, go. I got it.
Yes.
Go. I left work. I had probably got so much speeding tickets that day.
Oh, you did?
No, I didn't. But I think I broke so many red lights.
Well, oh, my God.
Very intelligently, though, not stupidly.
Right, right.
And I
right.
got there, and we did what we had to do. And Omesh was on his way that night
Wow.
to have his first dialysis session.
Wow.
And from there, dialysis started, and it helped him so much. Omesh was so surprised
Really?
at the outcome of how he was feeling compared to what he heard about this. You know, he gained back his energy, not 100%, but way better than where he was.
Right.
Gained back some appetite.
Yes.
Omesh was smiling again. I haven't seen him smile in a year.
Oh.
And so, guys, dialysis does help. Don't listen to all the negativity out there.
Right. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand Umesh. what were your reluctance in getting dialysis? Is because, and I want to help you, but I want you to tell me and to tell our audience, why were you not want to do this? Look, when you look up and see the beautiful Malini, that alone should be a reason to go for dialysis. That brilliant smile of her. What's wrong? Let me help me understand.
It's basic West Indian, like
The
your
man
mi-
thing.
the mindset.
Right,
It's
right.
like I don't want to do it, and nothing could make me do it.
Oh,
I was just like in that. I don't know. It was the mindset I was in, the frame of mind.
yes.
But I, it, it was like I just didn't want to do it, and I'm keep on hearing everybody. I mean, there was a few positive comments about it, but a lot of the comments were negative towards the dialysis.
Right.
And when I did the dialysis, it from within the first week, I started feeling the change. I was able to go to work. My coworkers were like,
Oh, really?
wow, Umesh, you look so energetic. You're able to do back what you're doing.
Right, right.
I was able to go back and play dolak, go to Monday, going to puja, doing pujas and stuff.
Oh.
That's what we grew up in. That's what we loved.
He was breathing again, basically.
Wow.
Reason. Yeah.
You know, I seldom don't know what to ask, but Malini, I have to compliment you for your steadfastness in all of this, your proactiveness in all of this. Because the truth of the matter is that probably if not because of you, he would not be here doing this interview today. So I want to big you up, and you are the wife of the year. It's so
Thank you.
beautiful. Right? Don't you agree with me?
Truly do. Truly do.
You said that you had some negative comments. What were some of the things that people were telling you?
So the same thing with the blood clot,
Right.
where you got to keep on going back to the place for them to take it out, and then sometimes you got to cancel your dialysis because you can't get an appointment.
Oh wow.
Thank God, when I got the transplant, it was right before COVID hit.
Oh yes, I want to talk about that. Before COVID hit.
So I got the transplant December 3rd of 2019.
Right.
March of 2020.
So we will go with that because I got a lot of questions to ask you about that. So I think you should take a sip of water. You're not drinking any water because you will need some water. What were your daughter? How she dealt with all? I know she's a little kid, and and how she was dealing with all of this. Your daughter.
So let me share something. Me and my daughter, we
Right.
share the same birthday.
Right, right.
So
Consider mom, yes.
she was born on my 30th birthday.
Right.
So
Oh, that's a special gift.
that's my blessing.
Oh.
Every day these two are what I live for every day.
Oh.
Besides my mom, my parents.
Yes, yes. And
And
that's how
fam-
we do it. You know,
Yeah.
nobody can feel jealous or anything, but that's, but, you marry, you cling to your wife and your
Yeah.
child, and
Yep.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I like that, how you put it in perspective.
Yeah.
You know, you want to say anything? You don't want to say nothing? Okay. Yes. So
You could tell what did you used to tell Daddy when
what
he
you
was
used
in
to
the
tell
hospital?
Daddy? You could talk. What you said?
I used to tell Daddy to be strong.
Oh.
And when he came out of the hospital one time, I made him a card.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. And I'm sure. And how you felt doing that?
I felt happy.
Oh. And what he did with it, did he read the card?
Huh?
Did he read the card?
Yeah.
And how that made you feel, Umesh? I that's probably spoke you up to.
That was that made my New Year because
Oh.
that was exactly January 1st,
Yes.
2019,
Right. Right.
when I came home. So,
That was after his first dialysis session.
right after
Right.
my first dialysis session, I was still in the hospital. The whole Christmas, everything, I was in the hospital.
I'm looking
That
for
year.
what I'm
It's
talking
okay,
to
you
you.
still
guys.
got your pepper pot though.
I, I'm looking for a nice song to play for your wife while we are talking. You know, a lot of times when people get sick, were you happy that your friends were checking up on you, or did you prefer that they just leave you alone?
Sometimes I was never like that,
Right, right.
but sometimes I just wanted my space, and
Oh, you want your space.
sometimes, not all the time.
Right.
I was never like that though.
Right, right,
But
right.
it was due to everything going on. You just needed your little space to
Hide.
to think and figure out what's the next step,
Right, right.
your next move. What can you do? Because me being the husband I was trying to assist with everything, whatever I could do.
Right, right, right. Wow. So that's a tough journey. What's one of the best thing that someone told you that really revitalized you, like your friend said? Because when I had COVID, even people like Fess came and Fess was like, if you guys need anything, let me know. He will bring it for us, and that really means a lot. So was that one person that really seek out you and said, "Listen, I got you. Do you need any help? Let me know." Was there anybody who did that?
There's a list.
Oh, really?
So
You could call some name. I want. We will say hello to some of our viewers in just a minute. But go ahead.
first I wanna Fess Ryan.
Yeah, that's the man.
Me and him, we grew up together
Oh, really?
in Brooklyn. Yes, we did.
Oh, wow.
And he's always been on my side. He's been on Malini's back
Oh, really?
that we have to do music. And ever since I left the band, Malini, Fest was like, why don't you get back into it? Why don't you do stuff? So when all this happened, Vinod from Angel's Band.
Angels?
Yes, me and Angel's Band have a very close knitted relationship
Right.
because as going to Monday, at a young age I was playing for Pana Prakash because
Oh, really?
I traveled extensively with him,
Wow.
playing dolak and stuff like that.
Yes.
So I built a relationship with a lot of musicians
Right,
and things
right.
like that.
Yes.
Damien,
Oh.
Sukram,
Yeah,
me and Damien go far away.
Right.
So we still have that brotherhood and connection. Every time he's in New York, he always links me. Let's go. Let's do something. He just wants to see me. When I was going through everything, he was one of the first ones. Maybe every day, he would either call me or call me.
Yep.
Right, right. Oh, wow.
When they did a fundraiser for me.
Oh, they did?
They did a
Oh,
fundraiser.
oh,
He did their
beautiful.
fundraiser for me.
Yes.
And the Chantibo on Monday, that's the Monday I'm affiliated with.
Oh, okay.
One of the Mondays. I go to many Mondays.
Yes.
But my main Mondays, the Chantibo on Monday, they assisted me a lot. They always ask me, do you need anything? What is it that you need? How can I help?
right,
And
right.
if they don't sometimes if they don't reach out to me, they'll contact everybody would be contacting Malini if they don't get through with me. Just
Right.
because they don't know if I'm okay, what happened. They just want to know if there's any updates, if I got a donor, or whatever the case might be.
Yes. Go ahead.
Now, one other person I want to mention, and I see her online,
Go ahead.
is my aunt, Auntie Uma.
Oh.
That morning, Omish was mentioning to you when he woke up and I
Right,
found
right,
him,
right.
not in a good state. She was the first person I called. And Auntie Uma was at church. And she left church.
Oh.
She rushed her way over to the house.
Yes.
And she went into the room. She said, Maddie, get out. I got him. She kneeled down and prayed
Oh.
for Omish.
Oh.
And then we took it from there. She called the ambulance. and we got him to the hospital. So, Auntie Uma, thank you. I love you so much.
Oh, yeah, and you guys, we have time. You guys could, if you see anybody on, or anybody on, you can always say, you can use my phone or use your phone if you want. Here. And if you see anybody here, you just say hello to them. That's fine. We want to let people know that you appreciate all their help. What were some of the challenges that you have encountered during your dialysis?
So the fistula
The
with the
fistula.
blood clot,
Right.
and then not able to eat things what I love.
Right.
And because before I got dialysis, I was a vegetarian.
You was? Oh, wow.
I didn't eat fish, but as I got sick, they said we have to start.
Protein level was
Your
very low.
protein
Low
level was
protein.
low.
Okay.
So,
So
Did
I
you
had
start
to
eat? Well, you start eat no meat.
eat a lot of fish.
Oh, you
A
eat
lot
fish?
of fish, yeah.
yeah.
Right, right.
Right. And then, like, I love the avocados, things like that.
Right,
You
right.
couldn't. You had to try to stay away from all those.
Yeah, we're gonna go talk about diet and so on.
Mhm.
How has your life changed after your dialysis?
So after my dialysis, my life was like from 5, and now it's at 200.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dramatic change.
Oh wow.
The change my lifestyle
Mm-hmm.
was already on the process of changing, and even my doctor is my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
When we did blood work,
Mhm.
well, I think it was last right before last year, when she seen my blood work, she was like, she was shocked
She was good.
for the better. She
Good.
was extremely happy. She was like, but it's all thanks to Malini.
Oh.
Malini's. She said, and Kaya. Kaya would tell you, Daddy, you can't eat this.
Oh really?
Yeah.
She knows. Oh, she's shaking her head. Oh, that's nice. It's nice that she loves you and you love her. If you have to live your life all over again, Umesh, what would you have done differently? I'd probably help you too, but I want to hear from you.
So I would be more aware of what you're doing, what you're things that you're eating.
Right.
One of the main things is things where you're eating,
Mm-hmm.
right? Exercise a lot more.
Right.
Take consideration of if you're not feeling well, don't let it just. I'll feel better the next day.
Right.
Just go sleep and
Yeah.
take two Tylenol or two. You'll feel better the next day.
Right.
It shouldn't work like that. It should not work like that. Once you know you're not feeling well, call your doctor.
Yes.
Let them know.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm not feeling well. They'll tell you what you should do.
Mhm.
And if it's severe, they'll tell you to come in. They'll do a check, or even go to the urgent care.
Yes.
Get a checkup. You never know.
Right.
You never know what it could turn out to be. A little headache could turn out to be something worse.
major.
Something you would never ever believe in your life.
When I spent a lot of time thinking about you and your wife, your kid and all who was involved in your dialysis and so on. I'm like, what's some of the questions I could ask you? I went in your brains, by the way. I went in your wife's brain. I want to know what was going on with all of you. Knowing, I'm a family man too, and I love my wife too. I have my wife, but I have to ask you this question: what does your wife, your daughter, and the family who have embraced you, what they mean to you today and every day. When you wake up in the morning, what's some of the things that goes through your mind? And what's some of the things? Wait. Let me ask that after this, because Go ahead. I'm glad I'm making you guys laugh. What goes through your mind? Do you? Let me help you a little bit. Are you the kind of guy who would say, "Melanie, I love you"?
I say it every morning. I say it every morning. That's the first. I'll turn to her and I'll hug her, and then I'll get up because I get up first, and then my puppy gets up right up.
You got a puppy, a dog?
Oh my God! Yes, we do.
Oh God! Oh God! Yeah. So how has life changed? In terms of your wife and so on, what role did she play now in your life, and how appreciative are you? And I was talking to a colleague of mine today, and I want to ask you this I want to ask you this question because I know you've been. You're lucky that I've been blessed that you've got a kidney transplant. A lot of times, and I hope that you can answer and your wife can help me with domestic violence. And it was not a question really I wanted to ask you, but it's something on my mind. Domestic violence is so high and prevalent in our beautiful Guyana. I tell people we never know what's going to happen to us on a day-to-day basis. And you went through all of this, and your wife stick behind you, went toe to toe for your love and
From
care
thick
and
to
giving
thin,
everything. What message do you have for those men who abuse him? And I'm gonna talk men because a lot of men, most men, get caught up in this. What message you have for them?
Think before you act.
Right.
Think before you act, because you don't know the situation of the relationship between maybe the husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend.
Right.
And you don't know what it could end up to be. There's so much right now in Guyana. There's so much young kids, men and women killing themselves for what?
Right.
Because maybe the boyfriend was with someone else, or the girlfriend was with someone else. That's no reason for you to go kill yourself or kill the person.
Right.
Let them live their life. You try to make better for your life. That's what I could say to the men out there. Don't try to kill someone or fight or domestic violence. I work in a shelter. Me and you spoke about it. I work in a shelter. I see day to day. I work in a few women's shelter. I hear stories. It's not easy, but it goes both ways for the men and the women. So my thing out there is, don't let little things make you end up doing something you would regret. That's my take.
And I want to tell people, I want to say that how do we diagnose renal failure? One, the doctor, they could do blood work, they can do urine testing, imaging testing, and they identify abnormalities and blockage. Also, they use kidney ultrasound, CT scan, and I know they can do an MRI too. Did you do all of that?
And
And they did a biopsy to you to see what was going on. How difficult was all of this for you?
There were days, like, sometimes they say they couldn't do it. I had to come back in the next day because one test or the machine wasn't working. You remember that?
Yeah.
There was a few times.
Certain medications you can't take before procedures that we weren't aware of, or.
And I know before you get all of this, they have to, they check your lifestyle, your age, your health problems, having someone to assist you, and you were very lucky. And no, I don't want to say lucky or blessed to have your beautiful wife next to you. your decision based be more on your medical history, a doctor's opinion, and that's one thing that you were not following what the doctor was saying. So thank God that you listened at the end, and it was not too late, and then what your family wants. And in your case, you were shutting down everybody out but yourself. So, and it's important, I want to tell people, it's important to have a healthcare proxy that in case anything, and I want to talk a little bit about healthcare proxy just for information's sake. When you don't sign that healthcare proxy, what happens is that then you don't give your family any right to make decision for you. You give the hospital the right to do that. So you don't want to do that. You want to let your wife and your family know exactly what you want. You know, so I want to ask you another question now. Let's talk about a big question now. Where were you when you get the call and says, listen, we have a kidney or kidneys for you? Where were you and what were you doing?
So I got the call. I just left work, going home.
Right.
No, I was in dialysis.
You in the dialysis?
It was a Monday evening.
Right.
About 6:30. 6:30.
Mhm.
6:30 in the evening. My
Right.
dialysis was from 6 to 10.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. I just got home from work. I took down my bag. I was going to dialysis center. I was sitting in the chair
Right.
waiting for them to put in the needles in the fistula,
Mm-hmm.
the tubes. I got the call. I was like going crazy, and the nurse next to me, nurse was like, "What happened? What happened?" I said, "They just called me.
Oh, wow.
They just called me." And like they said, between tonight and tomorrow morning,
Right.
keep your phone open.
Oh,
They're
wow.
gonna call you. You have to go in, and if you don't make it, you get your chances
It's lost.
is lost. You're gonna go back on the list.
Oh, wow.
It's. I was in shock. I called Malini, but she had some insight on it already
Okay.
because she knew a little bit about it already.
Mhm.
But she didn't want to put anything out until everything was confirmed
Right, right.
about it. So that was it that night. And then they said, I went to work the Tuesday morning. I got the call like, Malini called me because I was I worked in a basement in Brooklyn.
Right.
I was working at a HRA office. They called her because they weren't getting through with me, and they said you have to get here ASAP.
Wow.
And if you don't get here within 11, 11:30,
1, I think they told
1,
us.
11 or
We have
1,
to get there by.
you're gonna lose a kid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what was going through your mind, Melina? Where were you?
Actually, I was the one that got
Oh, yeah?
hey, Miss Kamraj,
Yes.
guess what? It's a match.
Oh, wow.
And I was stupid. I became stupid and speechless.
Oh,
I
wow.
kept asking the nurse, so wait, it's ours? It's ours? It's his? And that's
Right,
it?
right.
Do I have to do anything else? Do you
Right,
need
right.
anything else?
Yes.
And she's like, no, we got it. But we have to, do our procedure with this organ now. So I'm going to call you tomorrow. I'm like, so wait, it's ours?
Right.
That's it? I don't
Yes.
need anything else. This is his?
Right.
And she said yes, and I screamed. I remember my mother-in-law was home with me.
Yes.
She was babysitting my daughter, and I just came home from work. And
Yeah.
I ran to her and said, Mom, guess what? I don't know how loud I was, but I told her, and I went straight to my altar.
Oh.
I thank God. And from then, we made preparations. And the next day, I was at work, 11 a.m. When I got the phone call, I ran to my boss. I said, guess what? I got to go right now.
Right.
And he's like, go, just go. I'll call you. Go. And I told him, Mish, get your bags. We're going right now. We
Yes.
have to go now. And we got there, and they did their procedure. They had to keep that kidney alive.
Oh, yes.
That's
yes.
why it's
Yes.
it's a time-sensitive thing.
Right, right, right.
and they ran all the tests on him. They had to perform. He did dialysis that night, so they didn't have to perform dialysis again.
Right, right.
Usually, they do have to perform dialysis before you get that
Oh,
kidney
really? Oh,
to
wow.
clear your body out and prep your body to receive this brand new organ that's toxin free.
Right.
You know, and we got there and they did all their preparations, and the next day, Yomish was getting his kidney transplant.
That morning.
Beautiful. My question again is that was it, how far from home was that you had to have a transplant?
About 40 minutes.
Oh, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Where you did it?
Manhasset.
Oh, that was
Long
easy
Island-
then.
Long
Yeah,
Island
yeah, yeah.
Jewish.
Good.
Yeah.
Did you know your donor?
Yes.
Was it a family or?
No. It's not a family member. It's actually the daughter of my mom's coworker.
Coworker.
God bless her
Oh,
soul.
really?
My mom, that Sunday,
Yeah.
before all of this happened, she came home and she told me, Natalie is very bad.
Oh, wow.
We're going to go to the hospital to see her. Everyone from work is going to go see her.
Yes.
So I'll be home late because I usually get my mom from work.
Yes.
So she called me to tell me don't come. They're going to see her.
Right.
And she came home that night and she said it doesn't look good. She's not going to last.
Oh.
And this child is only 18 years old.
Oh, really?
And she said, but guess what? This child is an organ donor.
Oh.
I said, Mom, can you ask?
Oh.
I said, I know this is a sensitive conversation. She
Right,
said, I
right.
can't ask yet. They're dealing with a lot.
Right, right.
Well, the next day, other coworker who was very close to this mom
Yeah.
called me at work and she said, Mandy, doesn't your husband need a kidney transplant?
Yes.
I said, yes. She goes, okay, you need to take all this information down right now
Right.
and call right now. You have to call the hospital right now and ask for X, Y, and Z, and they're going to speak with you.
Wow.
So this child was a direct donor.
Oh, wow.
That's what you call a direct donor.
Yes, yes.
They specifically giving this kidney to
To him?
someone,
Oh,
to
wow.
him.
Oh, you could do that.
You could do that if you're an organ donor.
wow.
Your family could do that.
Cool.
So I spoke with her mom, and I gave her all the information, and that's how it started. You know, so I didn't personally meet the donor,
Oh, right, right, right.
but we know her.
Oh,
We know her mom very
A lot
well.
of
Her mom
people-
works with my mom.
yes.
Not knowing she was going to some of the Mondays that I played at.
So it
Played
was an
Dola.
Indian person kidney you got received?
She was actually mixed,
She was mixed.
but she was in all cultures.
Oh, really?
She was
Oh, wow.
involved in all cultures. She was the happiest, sweetest heart.
Yes.
Very happy child. She loved music too.
Yes.
Always smiling, loving, kind.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that something? Wow. I want to say, I know the interview is going, but let me stop and say hello to some of our viewers that's watching. Joan Johnson watching from Canada, Radhika Olarti. She said she's asking, hi V. Ryan, we are glad we have Ryan Jeffrey tune in. Thank you very much, brother. Shamiza Hussein watching all the way from Venezuela. Ryan Lala, a very good evening to you. Thanks for watching. Michelle Lake, thank you very much. Let's see, we have V. Prasad, thank you very much. We have Michelle Lake, you would not believe it's not one of the easiest interview that I am doing here now. It's a tough one. Everybody here is kind of emotional and we get happy and we get glad. And so I know it's only 2 hours and I have so many questions to ask him. So you guys just bear with me. Radha Budai, thank you very much for watching. And my deepest sympathy because I know your dad passed away not too long ago. Anita Munsami, thank you very much. Let's see. We have Anita Ish, Daulat Ram, Mike Ram. Thank you very much for watching. Shanta, I see Michelle is saying don't pass the tissue, let you guys take it. But guess what? It was behind the computer. I could not get the box out. So next time probably we'll get our tissue out. Radhika Olarti will tell you we always cry on this show. So, sometimes we're not ready and we put away the tissue box, not expecting anybody to cry. And, the thing is that what's his name? Not Fess. D-Raj was on and I barely had a couple of minutes to get the studio ready back for my show. So I was rushing to get back. So don't pay attention to the little things that we have going on. I just want you guys to pay attention to, the details, the information that the person is sharing, how we can help people. That's what really matters. Anita Ishtaulatrama, very good evening to you. That's my sister. Thank you very much for making the flyer. Shanta Ramrup, thank you very much. Good evening. Umade Prasada, very good evening. She said we just
That's
made
my
her
aunt.
cry. Your aunt, thank you very much
That's
for.
the one that
So, yeah.
the prayers for me.
That's Atioma.
Oh, thank you. Continue praying, and those are tears that cleanse the soul. You know what I mean? So, Shanta, thank you very much for watching. Let's see, Anita again. Thank you very much. Let's see, we have Bella. Chris is watching. Good night, Ken Rampersaud, Radhika. Radhika couldn't come in. I know someone has they want you to sing, so I don't know if you can pull a
Of course,
tune.
it's Ryan that said that.
No, I don't know. Somebody just inboxed me. Well, we can get her to sing a song. Don't worry. We're going to get her to sing. And Radhika say, hi, Oma. Give my regards to Auntie Chan, please. Ryan, thank you very much. We have Maria Harris. A very good evening to you. Thank you very much. Again, let's see. We have, oh God, so much people we are seeing here. Hemnat Ramsaran Maharaj, good evening. Thank you for watching. Barbara Budram, a very good evening to you. Thank you, my dear. Let's see. We have Anita Munsami is watching. Thank you very much. I'm going slow today. Banika Sugrim, thank you very much for watching. Anita Deo Prasad, thank you very much for watching. Savitri Bailey, thank you very much. Rishi Arbir, thank you for watching. And he's saying to preach. Billy Rameshwar, thank you for tuning in. Ina Sukram, good evening. And if anybody name that you recognize, you can jump in anytime and say hello to them. And thank you. Vimarla Prasad, thank you very much. And thanks for tuning in. Good to have you on. Let's see who else we have.
I remember seeing my friend Pinky online. Thank you, Pinky.
Oh,
Pinky
Pinky
also.
Barrett?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
hi,
They're
Pinky.
friends of mine.
Oh, good, good.
And she also reached out to me and actually gave me some vital information right before Mish got his transplant.
Oh, wow.
To visit, some people that she knew in her area to try to see what help we could get in terms of getting him a transplant. However, everything fell into place right there and then. So thank you, Pinks. Love you guys.
Yeah. And the other thing is that you see how marketing, networking is very good to know. Sonia Chandani, a very good evening to you. Thank you very much. Navin Maharaj, thank you very much. It was a great interview last week. Bibi Amal, thank you very much for watching. And Banika Sinurain Sigram says, hey guys, Umesh Kemraj and Malini. Michael Nalini Naidu, thank you very much for watching too. Good to have you guys on. So I'm going to start from the top when we come back. So, how long really it took you to get on the list? To get on the list, from the time till you get your kidney.
Or right away.
Right.
Once we set up the appointment to go to
The consultation.
the consultation
Yeah.
at the hospital.
Right.
That's actually the first step to make
the
sure
first
you're
step.
eligible for this kidney.
Yeah.
And
Oh, really?
then
Yep.
you have to get evaluated for the list.
Then, because we started talking, I started speaking to the doctor. They said they're gonna start. They give you a tour of everything. They show you different videos and things like
Videos
that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. They take you in the office. They put you on the list, and like as the appointments started coming through, they started asking me if you have a donor yet. I said no. They know. Then they started asking me, so why don't you go to like different cricket like when the games, cricket games and things like that.
Mm.
Why don't you go out and ask them, put up a little flyers and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Go to the Munders.
Yes.
Because I was affiliated with different Munders. It's networking. I know a lot of people. You don't know
Who knows who?
who knows
Right.
who. And
Yeah.
from that, you could get
Good.
right.
How did your surgery went?
Amazing.
Really?
Amazing. I was lucky. The doctor that was looking after me, was the same doctor
Oh, really?
I had to do the surgery.
Oh,
He
wow.
was the surgeon, yeah.
He wasn't supposed to be the surgeon, but after he heard who it was
It was.
for,
Right.
Yeah.
he said no,
He
nobody's
was
touching.
actually the one that did the videos
Oh,
and all
really?
of that with us and consult,
Wow.
when we had
He-
that consultation and he remembered us. He's like, I'm taking that patient.
He said
Oh, wow. Good.
because he wasn't supposed to be at work
Yeah, yeah.
that time.
Well,
He
God
said-
works in mysterious way, and
Yep.
He put him there to make sure.
And he was with us every step of the way. I could call him
Right
anytime.
now, he'll pick
Oh,
up
yeah.
his phone.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yes.
We built a relationship.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I'm going to ask you so that you could tell ourselves. Did they have to take out your kidney, or they leave it there, or they put your kidney, the kidney that you receive, next to yours? What happened? Tell us the story.
You leave it.
Oh, they left your kidney
You
here.
leave your
It's
kidney
actually a
there, and
very
add-
popular question.
Huh?
That's a very popular question that we get.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they insert the new kidney,
Kidney?
in between.
In between.
Yeah, they just attach it.
They attach it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They don't take anything away.
Wonder if that kidney is going to work again.
No.
No, that's it.
Because you're dealing with dead tissues. Dead tissues never recover.
Right.
So it will not come back to life. But you have one good one,
Oh, wow.
one perfectly functioning one.
Good.
You're able to.
What's
That's what other thing. A lot of people don't know. They say you need both kidneys to function. You could function with one kidney
right?
perfectly. well.
Absolutely, and I meant to say that too. So you had two kidney put in you, or just one?
One.
Oh,
They can't.
one?
They can't
Just
put
one.
both kidneys.
Oh, really?
They can't do both.
Oh, wow. So
Yep.
I want to sound this out too.
Mhm.
That if you could survive with one kidney, you don't need two kidney, and that's a great thing.
Yep.
So you have to do some work now, prepare, and we will talk about all the things that you're doing.
Yep.
Because you were diabetic, you had the diagnosis of diabetes. How was the healing process for you? Did things heal, or things take a long time? He speaks so.
It was a healing process. It didn't. So from after I got my transplant, so we had to see the surgeon. We had to go to the hospital every week,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes 2 times a week,
Right.
right? And from that, they broke it down to after I think it was after the month, they went there twice a month
After the first 3 months.
for the first 3 months.
Yeah.
After that, and then once every 3 months after that.
Mhm.
And as they see progression, but by the grace of God,
So basically, by quarters, the visits get less and
Less,
less and less,
right,
depending
right.
on how you're responding
Right.
or how
right.
your body is responding to this
Right.
new kidney.
all right, now this is gonna be 3 years since I got it.
Oh, wow.
Now, I only gotta go once a year to the hospital.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful.
Every year,
That's
do-
nice.
but I still have to follow up with my nephrologist.
Nephrologist, yes.
Yes.
I have to follow up with her every 3 months, every 6 months, around there.
On both of you could answer this question, and what were some of the challenges that you had experienced in the past when you received your new kidney? Some of the things that came in the way, that like, God, what do I do now?
So, my main thing was what was it, babe? That was
The potassium
Potassium.
level needs to be under
Potassium.
control because that's very, very important and
Yeah.
very, very dangerous
Right, right.
if it's not under control. Those were one of the things that once blood work is performed, they look for that.
Yeah.
Also, the blood pressure, they would do everything to get it under control. These are the vitals. Your creatinine level,
Right, right.
which your creatinine level, if viewers doesn't know, is what measures the toxin in your body.
right.
That's the number they look at to know how much toxins is in your body. And they always want to make sure that that's under control. Once that's under control, it means that your body is accepting this kidney.
Yeah.
And
There was many times when I would have to go back. I did blood work and I would have to go back
Right.
because they say the potassium is high.
Right.
too high, yeah.
And for that, the next 2 days after, I would have to go right back to the hospital
Oh, wow.
to do
Yeah, to
blood
repeat
work, to
blood
do the
work.
repeat the blood work, and then they will start sending the medication
Or
that you have to
adjusting
take, the adjusting.
medication. And they would call, right when they get the results, even if it's at. I remember one time they called me at midnight. A 516 number was calling me at midnight.
Wow.
And I answered the phone because I know it could be them.
Right.
And the nurse on the other end was telling me what's going on and what do I need to do now. And so they're very, very efficient when it comes to that.
Oh, yeah, they're supposed to.
And I think another thing was this whole new diet now, learning the whole new diet. They give you a
Right.
booklet once you receive this
Right.
transplant.
Yeah.
You have to read up on and you ask
Right.
questions. And they explain it to you too.
Right, right.
But, my main thing for Ramesh was, yes, the medication and all of that, but the medication is laid out where a child can understand it.
Oh, really?
But the diet part of it, you must read and you must understand what you're reading. For example, processed food, undercooked food.
Right.
Understand what that means. So something as simple as ricotta cheese you can't have.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well,
A
we're
lot
going to
of
talk about
things.
diet
Yeah,
in
yeah.
just a minute. Did you ever get to meet the donor mom personally? Or you did?
We both know her
You did?
because she works with my mom.
What
That's my
was the
mom's
conversation
coworker.
like?
It was so funny. I actually met her for the first time
Right.
for my mom's 60th
60th
birthday.
birthday.
Remember,
Oh, really?
COVID hit right after.
Right.
We had many conversations after this.
Right.
But the first time we actually met each other again, she had a different shift from mom, so I wouldn't see her when I pick her up.
Yeah.
But the actual first time we met her back since Somish had the transplant, we forgot it was mom's birthday. It was all about her.
Oh, wow.
I remember hugging her, and we both got very emotional.
And
He walked right in.
I was DJing, and I walked in the same time, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I just down my head because
And she told Omish, remember her words, you have a part of my daughter.
Oh.
Please cherish it.
Oh,
Because
that's
not
nice.
everybody gets a second chance to life.
Right.
So whereas, it was a bittersweet moment where she lost but we gained,
Yeah, right.
please cherish that gain.
Oh,
And I promised her, I said, absolutely.
that's so profound. Malini, we deviating from the interview, but I have to tell you, I'm so impressed with you. When I heard that I'm going to interview him, I said, let me ask his wife if she would want to talk. And you're such an asset and such an advocate for him too, that I really love this about.
Thank you.
So big you up.
so.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Before I was the talkative one,
You were.
and she was the very
Quiet one.
very quiet one.
Oh, really?
Now everything flipped.
Oh, wow. She's the boss.
She's the boss. No, not her. That one's the boss.
Oh, the little girl.
Who's the
sorry.
boss?
Oh, that's not. Oh, that's nice. That is good
She's
to
the
hear that.
boss.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's been the advocate for me. She pushes me to, and she makes sure it gets done.
Oh, wow. How old are you? Oh, you're 9 years old. Wow. And you spank daddy when he don't listen, right? She said yes too. That's nice. And that's great that she is going to be so knowledgeable on things.
Yes,
And
she
that's-
is very eager to learn. And I didn't keep her in the dark in all of this.
Right,
I took her hands. I explained everything. We looked at videos together, kids' videos. There's a lot of things on YouTube.
Yeah.
And, we would look at videos to explain better what's happening to daddy.
Right.
And she totally understood, and she knows that certain things he can't eat, and it's not allowed to be in the house.
Right. Do you ever really worried about a rejection of the kidney?
I do,
You do?
but by the grace of God, it's 3 years down.
Years,
Right,
and
right.
They haven't had an issue. I
Good.
haven't had an issue yet.
Good. Well, we hope
And
that you would not have.
I would
Any
not.
issue.
I pray I would not. But so far, everything is going great.
Are you have to take, or do you take any medication now because of your new kidney to help with the rejection? You do?
There's a list. And from
That's for
what
life.
and that's for life. There are many
Oh, wow.
medications I have to
Oh,
take.
really?
Besides the diabetes, the high blood pressure, there's many other medications I have to take.
Anti-rejection pills
Right,
and
Anti-rejection
other,
pills, right?
one of the things is that when I was a nurse at a hospital, and we talk about potassium level, every time they do a patient dialysis, they have to check the potassium level. And a lot of times they used to give them, I don't know if you heard of KXLate. It's a
Yes.
brown medication. It's a liquid.
Yes.
They give you that, you drink it, and then you pass out that from your
Yes.
stool. Did you have to get that too? Or no? No. Okay, good.
Amish did the white one.
I did the white one.
It was a white solution that I remember he has to dilute it and drink it. It's like a powder, a
Right,
white powder.
Powder, powder
Yeah.
drink, yeah.
So let me ask you, and this is one area I want to talk about, is that when you get diagnosed with renal failure, your kidney gone, there is also, I'm not sure if you heard of peritoneal dialysis.
Yes.
Peritoneal dialysis is a dialysis where they have like a tube in your abdomen. And I did that dialysis when a long time ago, where they put the liquid inside of your abdomen, and after that they leave it there like for 2-3 hours, and they drain that, and we have to weigh that and so on, and do the maths for that.
Yeah.
You know about all of that? You didn't have to go peritoneal dialysis though.
No.
Oh, okay, good.
But
That's
they
good.
did,
God,
they
no.
did all those explaining
Yeah.
to us.
That's good.
There was even asked me to do the home dialysis.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I did not.
hemodialysis.
We
and,
did not. I
that.
did not. Want to do
What's
that.
they give you a machine?
Yes,
yeah.
they come home and they set you up, and somebody's there to set up the machine. But then you're in charge of that. So
Right, and if anything
what
goes wrong-
if your blood pressure rises or drops doing that? You know,
Right,
there's
right.
not instant help. You know, you have to really be in control of everything if you're doing home dialysis. You know, there's people there to help you, but not within direct reach. So
And then when
that's
you-
the little challenge. in
And then
that.
when you do the home dialysis, you got to do it every day.
Oh wow.
Not like
Oh wow.
yeah, it's not like when you're doing it. You go into the center, you're doing it 3 times a week,
Right.
whatever the case may be.
Right.
You got to do it every day. Sometimes in the nighttime, and they said you got to while you're sleeping, it's there.
While you're sleeping? Wow.
Yeah.
So now we come talk about lifestyle changes. And you guys could talk a little bit about your food. You can talk to me about your exercise. If you do any kind of exercise, how do you control your diabetes, your hypertension? And in terms of medication, what do you do?
So
We could start by your diet.
okay, so there's a lot of dairy stuff.
You can't eat that.
I can't eat a lot of dairy.
Mhm.
Like a lot of different the cheeses like lasagna with the nice cheese and
Oh.
can't have that.
Melanie could eat it for you.
I think I learned enough lesson from this to want to eat it
Oh, really?
again.
A lot of different type of fruits.
Really?
Fruits.
Yeah, even some fruits you can't have.
Certain fruits I can't have.
Right.
And I used to love fruits,
Yeah.
but like as I said, avocado.
You can't eat avocado.
No.
No,
A
no
lot of
bananas. He
bananas
loves
and
bananas.
potassium.
Potassium, oranges.
Potassium.
No oranges, no oranges, no
Oh, wow.
pineapples.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because
Wow.
Citric
All the
acid.
good things.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
those are the things what I love.
Watermelon.
Watermelon,
Peanuts.
peanuts. Yeah, because
yeah.
potassium.
Wow.
Yeah. Any undercooked food, so all these
Yeah.
nice deli cut meats and all of that, none of those.
They gotta be cooked.
Has to be fully cooked food.
Wow. So what are some of the things that you can eat that you enjoy?
You know what? You could eat anything. It's just
Moderation.
moderation. You gotta be moderate. And since I got the transplant, there's sometimes I can't eat what I usually would eat. So it's moderation. And you just gotta look and think if I should be eating it,
Right.
if you should be eating it. But in our house, everything changed. Our cooking styles, every single thing changed.
Our cooking habits and eating habits has changed for everyone in the house.
Oh.
Yeah. But babe, you do like my pillow.
I love it.
That's nice. So what do you do, Melanie, in terms of the food that he can't eat? Do you still eat him?
No, because that would be wrong. How would you feel? It's like eating fried chicken in front of a child knowing that she can't have it, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I feel the same way for him. So he can't eat fried chicken, I can't eat it either. Let's do this together.
Right. Right.
You know how the diet, like I said, in our home has changed a lot. A lot of more vegetables, steamed foods, less fried food.
Right. Right.
The fruits, however, I love my fruits. Sorry.
Right.
So,
Right. That's all right.
yeah, so our cooking habits and eating habits has changed for the better, and everyone is feeling well and doing well, and you know that's how it's
Good.
going forward.
What about your exercise? Do you exercise?
I do a lot of walking.
You do walking.
Walking and running, yeah. Because I'm a lot where I work at out the field sometimes. So a lot of walking and running.
Do you? Well, sometimes I don't count as walking and exercising, but do you, like, let's say, you get up in the morning or in the evening and you go take a half an hour walk or so? You do that?
Yeah. Because I walk my dog.
Oh, you got that?
Yeah. So that's my exercise.
All right, good for you.
Like I run with him. I run with her and things like that. So all that is my exercise.
You know,
right?
I'm glad you say that because a lot of people, we don't like dogs and so on. But I want to tell people that dogs sometimes could really help you.
Yes.
Yes.
And they have a mind.
He knows you well? Or
She?
she? She? Oh, your daughter says she
They,
is. Yeah.
as soon as like I'm down the block,
Uh-huh.
she will smell me.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
have
she
a
knows
good
the engine
sense
of
of
the
smell.
car. She's there waiting.
They're
Wow.
waiting at the door. She's waiting by the window, scratching
Oh.
because she knows I'm coming home or she knows Malini's coming home.
Oh, wow.
But it's just it's a joy. It's a joy.
That's a beautiful thing. In terms of your hypertension and so, I know that you watch your diet, so which is a good thing. And I want to encourage you too, as a nurse, someone who has worked there all the time, to make sure you follow the doctor's guideline, everything what they say. And I know Malini will have you. And I know the police is right over there. She's 9 years old. I want to know, and I was kind of concerned about your mental health. How is your mental health going from the up and down, the stress that you go through? What do you do really for your mental health? You could cry if you want, it's fine.
So my mental health now is like I have a mindset and I'm moving forward.
Right?
God gave me a second chance.
Amen to that, yes.
God gave me a second chance, and I thank God for that every single day. Because it's within my daughter, my wife, and family that I was able to get the second chance. If they didn't push and push, you got to get this done. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to get it. We're here. Let's do it. Let's do it together. We're all one person. As she said, one person doesn't do it. We do it as a family.
Mm-hmm.
So, I never really had the mental health issue.
Right. You were never depressed.
Before I had the transplant, I was in a depressing state of mind.
Right.
But looking at my wife and my daughter, that's what motivated me to keep on doing what I do.
Yes, yes.
And
No, when he would be ready to give up, I would tell him, failing is not my thing. You
All
could
right.
ask my teacher. And Anita is giving up. You could
Oh.
ask my mother.
and the
So we ain't
Mondays-
doing that right now.
The Mondays always there's one person, Pandit Manoj and Pandit Deepak. Those two were God sent to me.
Oh.
From
Inception.
me and Pandit Manoj, we went back about 25, 30 years
Mm-hmm.
down. From that, Pandit Manoj is Prakash's godson.
Mhm.
And we built a relationship. We built a brotherhood. Till up to this day, we still have that. And he even tried to be a donor, but it
Oh.
falls through. Pandit Deepak, there's many friends
Oh, really?
Yes.
that I hold close to my heart. Tried to be a donor,
Oh.
but it didn't
Even
fall
people
through.
internationally, by
Oh,
the
really?
way, and in different
Yes.
states,
Yes.
Oh, wow.
was very interested in
Yes.
Wow.
testing.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, one of the first person after me, I was the first one that tested,
Right.
and right after when everything fell through, that's when I made the big post, and the guy that reached out to us was actually a cousin of his band member.
Wow.
He didn't live in New York.
Mm-hmm.
However, he made the time and he sacrificed and he went to all the the
All the-
consultations and the testing in New
Oh,
York
yes.
to try to become one. He didn't work out, unfortunately, but it's the what he did for us. So we would forever be thankful. There were many days and many nights that he would check in and call, and he's a cop. I don't know if he still is. He was a cop at the time, so it was
Right.
very difficult to find time, but he found the time because he cared. And I remember one of Amish's cousin from Minnesota also reached out to me.
Oh, wow.
People from Florida
Oh, wow.
reached out to me. People
Yeah.
from Guyana, people from
Oh, really?
Trinidad reached
Oh,
out to
Because,
me.
as I said, I played music for 25 years.
Yeah.
I was in the community,
Yes.
especially in Queens. I was born and raised in Brooklyn.
Oh, you're born in. Wow.
Born and raised in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
So I started. I never went to school for music. I was
Right.
self-taught.
Oh, you never went to school?
I play dolak. I play harmonium.
Oh, wow.
Play little keyboards. I do vocals. I sing. Just things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's by God's grace that I was able to do all that. And
Yes.
from that, I maintained and established a amazing brotherhood with friends. I don't have no brother. I have one sister, but I don't have no brother, but I have many brothers.
Right, right.
Many,
I get you.
many.
I get you. And here it is. We have what? We got a couple of minutes, about 20 minutes more to go. Melanie, did you ever what was the lowest point in your life in all of this during his ordeal? And how did you manage to be as smiling as you are and be optimistic as you are?
I would say my lowest point was not knowing what comes next. In the beginning,
Right.
I had no idea. I did my research after. I was very eager to learn, and I did
Right.
my research, and I spoke to so many doctors and nephrologists and questioned every single thing. However, that I would say that was my lowest point at that time, and the second one would be that morning when Omish was not responding. I went all the way down, and I couldn't think for that moment right. And again, my aunt is the one that did everything for me at that point.
Right, right.
However, I would say one thing: when you're faced with challenges, you shouldn't panic.
Right, right.
Because you wouldn't be able to deal with it. When you're being faced with a challenge, you have to stop, breathe, think. How do I go forward from this? Who do
Right.
I need to call? What do I need to do?
Mhm.
And embrace it. Don't back down, like
Right.
we say. Just try to move your best to move forward. Life is full of challenges, and this
Oh,
was
Lord, yes.
definitely one for us.
Right, right.
However, had I backed down and be like, oh my God, I can't deal with all of this right now, I'm too overwhelmed, then he wouldn't be here today.
Right, right.
God knows what would have happened.
Mhm.
So, my darkest moment would be when he was first diagnosed, and me at that specific moment in time,
Mhm.
not knowing what next, or
What was the next
so
step?
many things was going through my head. Oh my God,
Wow.
is he going to get a transplant? How do I get him on the list? Is anybody going to be interested? Like, so much things is happening, but
Yeah.
all my questions was answered very diligently, and we followed everything that we were told.
Mhm. You know, in our community, I'm not sure if there's any kind of group or organization that you could join if you have kidney problem, or for people who have received a kidney. Is there anyone?
Not that I know. I know there's some like Facebook groups,
Okay.
right? Well, when I was going through it, there was some Facebook groups, but I think they do have some dialysis like meetings where they do monthly meetings in the center where I was going at. They had like monthly meetings, and like they would like serve like light snacks, and everybody to just discuss whatever issues they're
Right,
faced
right.
with at the dialysis center.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's one place you could look at.
You know, seeing Mistress Malini here now, I think would be a great thing to start something where, like, you know, for the recipient wife. She's articulate, and I think that she would do a fantastic job. So probably it is something where you guys could look into to start something in our community, because I don't think that we have a lot of that in our community. And by sharing your story, sitting down telling your story like us here today, I'm certainly sure that would make a big difference in our lives, in people's life, you know. Also, I always feel that a lot of people is scared of giving up when they're dying or when they're dead. They're scared of giving up an organ.
Oh no, please don't.
You know, they don't they want to take their organ with them.
Yeah.
You know, and I want both of you to answer this, one from a wife perspective and for a husband. You know, what would you tell people to do?
Well, first of all, people need to understand, because I feel like a lot of people doesn't understand. They're not going to take your organ from you when you're alive. This is when you pass.
Pass.
When you pass, you give somebody else a chance to life. All right? So we need to understand that. I actually became an organ donor when Omish was diagnosed.
Oh, really?
Yes. Because if someone else could live off of my organs, why not?
Right.
That's how I see it. You know, there's stories out there that, oh, if you're dying, they're going to kill you faster because they want to save 25 people versus
Right.
one. I think that's untrue. I don't know how good that is. Like, the doctors does everything they can to save you either way. But if you can save a life, like Omesh, you know, his organ donor signed up to be a donor in March on her 18th birthday.
Oh, wow.
That March.
Wow.
And in December, she
December.
passed, and her organs was used to save so many people. So, you know, understand that. And being an organ donor is a blessing to me. And, you know, that's some of the things that I would tell people to take into consideration. It's a great, great thing, saving lives. For me, donating blood also is something I do on a yearly basis to give
good for you.
back.
Yeah.
And other things, but that's one of it. So being an organ donor is not the worst thing in the world, like a lot of people think. So,
Yeah, and this is a good story where people can get a lesson from, you know, is that girl, 18 years old, is still living in you,
exactly.
Yes, she is,
right?
and I have a part of her. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
she is
I
still-
thank God for that every single day, as I say. Whatever is meant for you is gonna happen.
Right.
Is meant for you.
Yes.
It's you're able to make the history of what you want in life. Right? God put a situation towards you, but it's how you deal with it and how you run with it. That makes you who you are.
Right.
Right? God wouldn't put so much on your plate that you can't handle. He knows that you can handle it. That's why he would give it to you. That's my opinion. If he didn't, he wouldn't give that to you. He says, Homesh, I know you could handle this, so
Right.
I'll put the pressure. Let's see the outcome, see what's going to be the outcome. And here and behold, this is the outcome.
A wonderful human being and a great story. You know, I learned, I was reading a lot, as much as I can read for this interview, and I read that one place where it says that when you receive a kidney, there's changes, you know, you can become depressed, your personality changes. Have you experienced any kind of that where you get upset a little bit fast?
Not in my sense, no. I mean, it made me feel a lot better, right? There'll be sometimes I like depression because I'm looking back at what happened in the past, but 90%, 95% of the time, it's happiness.
Happiness.
Because I thank God. God gave me a second chance.
Beautiful. And I hope and pray that you will continue to do all that you can do to live and for, especially for your beautiful daughter who's watching me she's right in front of me, and your beautiful wife. We have comments. How has COVID changed you? Were you scared any given time?
I was scared because so December, I got the transplant. I had to start back out to work March of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I started a new location. I was working in Harlem.
Oh, wow.
And you know Harlem.
Right. I worked there for maybe
Harlem,
30 years.
and I was working in supported housing.
Really?
So that was in a good area. You getting off of 125th and Lexington?
Yes.
On
That's my spot.
8 o'clock in the morning, 8, 9 o'clock. No.
You see all those people getting high here.
Aye. Yeah. And then the day they announced that COVID, the city's on shutdown.
Right.
The day before, I went to do blood work.
Oh, wow.
So they said, don't worry about that. Come in.
Oh, wow.
Come in the next day, not knowing. I walked in. Same way I walked in. Within 20 minutes, had to send right back home.
Oh, really?
Because COVID hit.
Because COVID hit that same morning.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. So
We're going to play a song. I didn't get to prepare any song to play. We changed how we play a song here. Now, I did from my account to Fest, to Island Zone Radio. So there was a song that I really wanted to play for you, Malini. But I will play this one song. I have it, Navin. He's a great singer out of Trinidad and Tobago. So I hope it means something to you. It's especially just for you, right?
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see. We have, let's see. Let's play this one.
La 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 la. Navin. Hey, la 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 la. That's right. Sarigama Records. तू प्यार है किसी और का, तुझे चाहता कोई और है. तू प्यार है किसी और का, तुझे चाहता कोई और है. तू पसंद है किसी और की, तू पसंद है किसी और की, तुझे मांगता कोई और है. तू प्यार है किसी और का, तुझे चाहता कोई और है. कौन अपना है क्या बेगाना है, क्या हकीकत है क्या फसाना है. कौन अपना है क्या बेगाना है, क्या हकीकत है क्या फसाना है. ये जमाने में किसने जाना है, ये जमाने में किसने जाना है. तू नजर में है किसी और की, तुझे देखता कोई और है. तू नजर में है किसी और की, तुझे देखता कोई और है. तू पसंद है किसी और की, तू पसंद है किसी और की, तुझे मांगता कोई और है. तू प्यार है किसी और का, तुझे चाहता कोई और है. प्यार में अक्सर ऐसा होता है कोई हंसता है कोई रोता है प्यार में अक्सर ऐसा होता है कोई हंसता है कोई रोता है कोई पाता है कोई खोता है कोई पाता है कोई खोता है तू जान है किसी और की तुझे जानता कोई और है तू जान है किसी और की तुझे जानता कोई और है तू पसंद है किसी और की तू पसंद है किसी और की तुझे मांगता कोई और है तू प्यार है किसी और का तुझे चाहता कोई और है.
That's right. Welcome back to the Ken Rampersaud Show here on Island Zone Radio. And I'm so glad that Malini loved the song. It's one of her favorite songs. So I'm glad for that. She's going to prepare to sing her song in just a minute. And thanks to Tara Singh for watching. She is on a mini vacation in Orlando, Florida. Thank you very much, my co-host, Radhika Olarti. Tune in tomorrow for myself and Radhika. Nadia Ghani, a good evening to you. Kumari Busjit, good evening to you. I know some Busjit from Berbice. Not sure if you're related to like Brian Busjit and so on, but I know some Busjit. Nadia Ghani, she's watching from Scarborough, Canada. That's where I go sometime. Indira Prasad, good night. God is great all the time. What is destined for you, for a man, so be it. Thank you very much. Savitri Bailey, a very good evening to you. Thank you very much. Shanta Ramrup, good evening to you. Thank you very much. Who else we have? Anita, thank you very much. God, so many comments here, but let me start from the top now. Elizabeth Lowe, thank you very much for watching. Umesh, that's Umesh is next to me. Pandit Deepak Rampersaud, thank you very much. Thanks for your love, your support, and this young man, two of the most amazing people ever. Love you guys, Umesh and Malini. Thank you very much for your love and your support. Veronica Jaglal, very good evening to you, watching all the way from Maryland. Thank you so much. Vic Dearnarine, good evening. Ani Sikolam, good evening to you. Radhika Olarti, thank you, my dear. Pinky Bharat, thank you very much for watching the show. And she has some great things to say about you. That's a great thing. Anjani Olarti, good evening, and thank you very much. Shalini Ramutar, a good evening to you. Pamela Prasad, good evening to you. Sonia Chandani, good evening. Ravindra Ramcharan, a very good evening to you. Thanks for your love, your support, and everything else. Who else we have? I want to give everybody their love. Rowena Lal, thank you very much for watching from Florida. Good to have you on. Good to always have your support. Ryan Lala watching from New Jersey. Thank you very much. Wakil Mohammed, good evening. Let's see. Chandra Lala, good evening to you. Tina Sani, good evening to you, my very good friend now. Joan Johnson from Canada, good evening. And to Ryan Jeffrey, I cannot say how thankful I am to you for allowing me to use this platform so that we could make a big difference in our communities. In our community, and you know what? I couldn't believe that Malini and Umesh decided to do this interview. It's such a I love the interview, and I'm going to give them their time to talk a little bit. But I love this, and I hope that more people can come forward. It's not you're looking for any attention. It's that interviews like this help people. So we're going to open the mic and we'll ask Malini. I didn't know she was a singer. She surprised me in every way. I didn't expect her to share so much today on the show. You know, sometimes people are shy, but she is not shy. And every husband need a wife like Malini. One who's proactive, one who's there, one who's a go-getter. And she made sure that things went well throughout the ordeal. And they're still standing. So go ahead and sing your song, my dear.
First of all, before I sing, I'd like to say thank you for everyone who came on and watched, and I hope we inspired you guys. And you know, this is vital information. I share our story because I want people to know that what you could and can't do, and it's. I don't see this as something to hide. That's why we willingly came on Ken's show and shared with you guys all the ups, the downs, good times, bad times, great times. Thank you for having us, Ken.
You're welcome.
I'm very shy when it comes to singing.
But that's okay. I'm sure everybody will support you.
But since Ryan had to call me out, I will. Okay, what song am I going to sing? Any special song?
Sing anything.
Never
that's
Never
on
Whatever's
your
make
on
it
my
mind.
easy
mind.
for me. Huh?
Whatever is on your mind.
Oh. अब है जुदाई का मौसम दो पल का मेहमान कैसे नया अंधेरा क्यों न थमेगा तूफान ऐसे ना मिलेंगी मंजिल प्यार की ऐ मेरे हम सफर एक जरा इंतजार सुन सदाएं दे रही है मंजिल प्यार की. Thank you.
Your closing remarks.
So Ken, I want to thank you again. It was long overdue for this interview.
Absolutely.
Very long. Before I got the transplant,
Right.
you reached out to me
Right, I did.
from Fest,
Right, right.
from Ryan. Ryan gave you the contact, and
Right.
we were trying to set up dates, but as I said, nothing is done before it's time.
Correct.
Right? I want to thank Facebook and everyone. Auntie Kamari, I love you dearly. Thank you for always supporting me and our family. You're like a second mother. There's a lot of mothers, Auntie Radhika. Auntie Radhika is my mom's cousin.
Yeah, she told me you guys related.
And it's a funny story. I want to thank everyone for joining. And if there's anything that we could assist with, don't feel free to reach out. We're on Facebook. We're here to help. We don't want nobody to feel. There's nothing to feel bad about. With certain situations, a lot of West Indian people feel bad
Right,
to
right.
ask for help.
Right, right.
But there's no need.
Right.
We're all one.
Yes, yes.
And I want to thank you once again for having us on the show.
Yeah.
Before we go, I wanted to say hello to my auntie Ken Rampersaud from Guyana. I love you so much. I see you.
I see Kumari Busted. I remember when you played all night at Shivratri at Milan Mandir. And Savitri Bailey says, Jesus, sometimes the show, you guys, people don't know how tough sometimes it is to do this show. But you know what? She said, I love you too, my son. And she said, Malini voice is worth to be in Bollywood.
Thank you.
Kumari says she's emotional. I'm emotional too. Indira, thank you very much. Umadat Prasad. Naya and Chunilal, thank you very much for tuning in. But, when I started the Ken Rampersaud Show, I started because of story like this. I started because there is so much untold great stories of love that needs to be told. And you guys is the prime. Oh God, you guys are, your guys' story is actually one story that really have impressed me, and I'm so glad that you guys decided that you want to do this interview. Sometimes, like I said, I probably sometimes too emotional to do shows like this, but at the same time, people need to hear these stories. You guys give this, there's so many pictures you guys paint on the show today. One of a beautiful family, a husband, a wife, and a daughter. And Malini, you show exactly what a wife, you are the epitome of a wife and who a wife should really be. And I see the love, I don't know if you guys see the love outside, but you know, if all wives should be like you, this world would be a better place. And I pray that God would bless both of you, that and the child and your daughter to live a long, healthy life. And Umesh, I cannot say how. Thank you so much for being so brave to come here and to tell your story. These are good stories. One of my best interviews. I am not that great talker, but when I hear stories like this, it brings out so much out of me. It brings the best out of me. And I can tell you that I start the year with a bang, with a couple of good interviews. And this is why I do these kind of interviews, to bring people as beautiful as you are in this world. And I hope that your story people would encourage and to live a life, and domestic violence would not be in the world like it is. Because we don't know at the end of the day what your wife will have to do for you or your husband will have to do for you. We never know what tomorrow is. So Malini, I love you guys, and I wish you all the very best, and I really mean it. You can reach out to me anytime you need anything. I am definitely sure would be there for you guys.
We appreciate it. The same here. If you need any assistance from us,
Thank
we're
you.
here for you.
And you know, I tell people one thing that, and I really do mean this, that anytime that anyone comes and sit in the studio, it's like we are family now. You know, if something happened to you, I want to help. Malini, need any help? Reach out. I'm sure I could reach out to so many other people here. And to all the viewers that's watching the show, I got to tell you, you guys are simply the best. I am so glad I have all of you guys watching the show. And who's Kayla? You Kayla? Kayla.
Auntie Kumari said.
That's your Auntie Kumari. Say hi, Kayla. You want to say hi to her? You could sing? Sing a song for me. Sing something nice. Go ahead. Anything. Go ahead. While she's preparing, Anthony Prasad, a very good evening to you. We have a beautiful, she's going to be a great singer. You watch. Go ahead and sing.
Tafali wali, tafali puja, mere kunguru olati hai ha, maina tu na cha. Hari Sundara Nanna Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om Hari Keshava Hari Govinda Hari Narayana Hari Om Hari Kandara Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om.
Oh, I see you singing on the stage a couple of years from now. Do she sing in Mandir?
She sings up under. She dances. She's a dancer. Too.
Oh, she's a dancer?
She danced with Natraj.
Oh, wow. That's
She
nice.
started about five years now.
I hope that you guys come back sometime on the show. I see there's somebody wanted to say hello. Russell, I think probably you know Russell too. So Russell, thank you very much for tuning in. Anthony Prasad, it's always good to have you on. My good friend and my teacher, Miss Chandra Feria, thank you very much for watching. Harry Delaney, a very good evening to you. Thank you very much for tuning in. To all of you that's watching this show, thank you so much. It was a beautiful show. I hope that you guys are inspired as much as I am inspired. A beautiful family and a great show. Thank you very much. Have a good night, everyone. Until, probably we should play another song to end. As she said, she liked Navin.
Anything Kumarsanu.
Oh God, sometimes sometimes you get knocked out, so I'm gonna be very careful.
चांद जब आए Mi amor, मैं तुमसे प्यार करता हूँ. Navin, booyah, ha. नीले नीले अंबर पर चांद जब आए, प्यार बरसाए, हमको तरसाए. ऐसा कोई साथी हो, ऐसा कोई प्रेमी हो, प्यास दिल की बुझा जाए. नीले नीले अंबर पर चांद जब आए, प्यार बरसाए, हमको तरसाए. ऊंची पर्वत जब चूमते हैं अंबर को, प्यासा प्यासा अंबर जब चूमते हैं सागर को. ऊंची ऊंची पर्वत जब चूमते हैं अंबर को, प्यासा प्यासा अंबर जब चूमते हैं सागर को. प्यार से कसने को, बाहों में बसने को, दिल मेरा ललचाए, कोई तो आ जाए. ऐसा कोई साथी हो, ऐसा कोई प्रेमी हो, प्यास दिल की बुझा जाए. नीले नीले अंबर पर चांद जब आए, प्यार बरसाए, हमको तरसाए. Music is life. जोके जब बालों को सहलाए, तपती तपती किरणें जब गालों को छू जाए. तंगे तंगे जोके जब बालों को सहलाए, तपती तपती किरणें जब गालों को छू जाए. सांसों की गर्मी को, हाथों की नरमी को, मेरा मन तरसाए, कोई तो छो जाए. ऐसा कोई साथी हो, ऐसा कोई प्रेमी हो, प्यास दिल की बुझा जाए. नीले नीले अंबर पर चांद जब आए, प्यार बरसाए, हमको तरसाए. चम चम करता सावन बूंदों के बाण चलाए, सतरंगी बरसातों में जब तन मन भीगा जाए. चम चम करता सावन बूंदों के बाण चलाए, सतरंगी बरसातों में जब तन मन भीगा जाए. प्यार में नहाने को, डूब ही जाने को, दिल मेरा तर पाए, ख्वाब जगा जाए. ऐसा कोई साथी हो, ऐसा कोई प्रेमी हो, प्यास दिल की बुझा जाए. नीले नीले अंबर पर चांद जब आए, प्यार बरसाए, हमको तरसाए. ला 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 la 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 la. Yours truly, Navin, fate, drive, determination.
You know, I forgot to mention that Malini does, you make cakes and so on, right?
What I do. Actually, by profession, I do accounting.
Right, okay.
But for fun,
Right.
my daughter and I, we do cakes and sweet treats.
Oh, really?
So please hook us up if well, actually, we're going to hook you up if you need your cakes and sweet treats done. Chocolate-covered goodies and custom cakes and cupcakes and
Oh, that's nice.
all those good stuff. Check me out on my Facebook page, Malini's Sweet Treats. I'm going to post it in the comments later,
Right,
so you guys could take a look at that. Thank you.
So don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you want your sweet treat cakes and all these things, cupcake, that little child over there, she and her mommy will make it with a lot of love. So we'll put her name and her number in the chat box. So please reach out to them, support them in any way that you can, so that things will be easy on them. Anita Munsami, very good evening to you. Thanks for watching. Shanta Ramrup, good evening, my dear. Thank you very much for watching. Until now, please don't forget to join us tomorrow night with myself and my brown sugar tomorrow. We will do another interview tomorrow. And hey, I'm planning some great show for this year. A lot of health stuff on a Sunday evening. So you never know, we could have both of them back sometime soon they have an inspiring story. So have a good night, everyone. Thank you very much.